things are looking really dire for the Conservative Party, but also for the Labour Party. And I think people aren't paying as much attention to this as they ought, because the Labour Party were contesting far fewer local councils in this election, because we do them by sort of regions. It's not all of them all at once. And so for the ones that were being contested, Labour only had about 300, and they lost 186 of them. So now they have less than 100 left of those. So that's a 2/3 loss for the current ruling government, which is catastrophic. I mean, it's catastrophic for the Conservatives to lose, again, 2/3 of them, of their own, and that's a much greater number, 676 down to 317. But Labour in this is a really strong bellwether. I mean, Labour still have something like 4,000 councillors, so it's not like the Labour Party is out of local governance or anything. The Conservatives still have loads as well, but the point is that this is a bellwether. This tells you which way the wind is blowing, and the Liberal Democrats and the Reform Party are now, out of this election, the two clear frontrunners. And this is something that presents an existential threat for the Conservative Party and the Labour Party, and they're rightly worried. And so Keir Starmer has really got to do something about his own party and the obvious rejection that they're receiving from the British electorate. Things are going terribly. And this Guardian article is actually fascinating, because the Runcorn and Helsby by-election, a Labour MP decided to start beating up his constituent. He obviously got arrested and a by-election was called there. And Reform won it by something like 6 votes. And it's like, right, okay, this was a Labour stronghold. This was considered to be true dyed-in-the-wool Labour territory, and they could rely on it. And Reform won it. And then add that to all of the local councils that they lost, you can see why Labour are just like, oh my God, we are getting hammered. And so you've got lots of senior Labour MPs and Labour Party officials who are not speaking on record under their name, but are speaking to The Guardian under condition of kind of anonymity. One senior Labour MP said, I was quite shocked at how complacent the campaign was, especially in Runcorn, but nationally as well. Everyone seemed convinced that they were going to win by a reasonably comfortable margin. The NHS message does not work against Farage, but the centre wouldn't hear it, or the fact that Keir's unpopularity was brought up on almost every door. So that's very interesting, because they've been trying to attack Nigel Farage. Nigel Farage is going to privatise the NHS. Well, if I can't get an appointment, what difference does it make to me? This is a Labour ideological point. If I can't get a goddamn doctor's appointment because the waiting room is full of foreigners, why do I care if the NHS is privatised? In fact, it might be better if the NHS is privatised, because I'm still paying for it. And so if I have to pay privately rather than pay through the government, at least I know I'll get the service I'm paying for, because like I said, I'm still paying for it. And the fact that Keir Starmer is so wildly unpopular is just something that they just don't want to hear. Again, the Starmer bunker must be pretty tense right now. Because everyone hates Keir Starmer. He's one of the least popular politicians in Britain. He's way less popular than Nigel Farage is. And so you get various people saying, look, mistakes were made, like the winter fuel allowance. Yeah, mistakes were made. You decided in the middle of winter to strip away the extra money for energy, for heating, that the government gives pensioners to make sure the pensioners don't freeze to death, while at the same time pissing our money away, billions of it, to Ukraine, to foreigners hanging around in hotels, and on the green net zero total bullshit boondoggle. No kidding, people are furious at you because you're such an ideological party. You say and do these things even in the face of them being directly detrimental to the people who you expect to vote for you. No way would I ever vote for the Labour Party, and I think a lot of people are coming to the same conclusion. A second Labour MP said, the boys in Number 10 should spend less time briefing about who's driving the train and more time actually getting on with building the tracks. People haven't felt change they were promised, or we promised, they say. They are fed up with 14 years of hard times under the Tories. They will start looking for answers elsewhere. That's true. There doesn't seem to be a light at the end of the tunnel, and so people are like, you know what? I'll roll the dice on Nigel Farage. Who cares? It can't get any worse, because this is literally a path to destruction. So maybe Nigel Farage will do something different. Maybe he'll screw it up, but at the end of the day, we'll just end up in the same place with a ruined country. So why not? And the thing is as well, like, I genuinely think the reason that Nigel Farage is actually doing so well is not really entirely due to Nigel Farage. It's because he's on the TV all the time and he's just someone else. Like, nobody's voting for Nigel Farage because they're like, yeah, he's brilliant and his team are brilliant. Nobody's voting for Nigel Farage because they're like, look at these policies. This is going to fix Britain. They're voting for Nigel Farage because Nigel Farage is in opposition to them. That's what this all comes down to. Because we don't really know what he's going to do when he's in government. And, I mean, to be honest with you, and like, people are like, oh, don't start enjoying Farage's win. Look, man, I am going to enjoy Farage's win because I am enjoying the fact that they're getting smashed, right? The people who have destroyed our country in the past 25 years are getting absolutely smashed. Someone needs to smash them. I'm not saying Nigel Farage will be the savior of this country by any means. I don't think he will. I think that there's a potential that he'll just continue screwing it up. And I think that's probably more likely than the opposite. But I still want these people to be ruined. I want 0 seats for Labour and Tories. And if it takes Nigel Farage to deliver that, you know what? Bravo, Nige. You get in there and you start hammering them down, mate. You know, I'm not expecting anything from you. I just want you destroying them. Anyway, I worry that we are taking the people we built the party to represent, the working class, for granted. Well, that's because you're all a bunch of bourgeois, cosmopolitan, like middle-class leftists. The working class are not these things. The working class are actually quite far right. They are white. They are normal. They're not very socially liberal. And they just don't want to be taken advantage of by sort of predatory global capitalism. And that's where their left-wing sentiments come from. And I think that's totally fair, actually. I think it's totally reasonable for the working class in Britain to be like, yeah, I'm not really pro-capitalism because that means getting bought out by BlackRock and having our cities bought by like Russian or Saudi billionaires or something. I'm actually not for like the insane infinite free market. Obviously, I want my property, but like I just don't want to be sold out to foreign interests. I think that's totally fair. That doesn't make you some sort of doctrinaire socialist. Anyway, a third Labour MP, and this is the one that's just really, really crucial that the Labour Party really have to hear, because it's this point that they simply can't recover from. Right? A third Labour MP said, "It's all very well for Number 10 to say we've got to keep delivering. The problem is that it's the stuff that we've delivered that people hate." And that's it. We are going to deliver for you. What are you going to deliver? Ruination. We're going to deliver your replacement in this country. We are going to deliver the highest tax burden. We're going to deliver the most comprehensive system of human rights for foreigners that you've ever seen. And it's like, oh, wow, okay, well, great. I'm glad that you're planning to be really effective. But actually, I really don't want you to do these things. I really, really don't want you to do these things. And again, like all things, all of our problems are fundamentally underpinned by immigration. And this is something that they just are afraid to tackle, because their position has been actually the demographic replacement of the British people is a good thing. And we would have to undo everything since the Blairite project began. And what does Labour have other than that? And the answer is nothing. The Prime Minister admitted the by-election result was disappointing and told reporters on Friday, "My response is, we get it. We were elected last year to bring about change." He vowed to go further and faster in delivering it. It's like, okay, but I don't think you understand. The change we want is in the opposite direction to the change you're offering, right? And so this was the Labour Party's final sort of primary thing that they posted on their social media. You know, vote Labour. We're the only party with a serious plan for change to improve the lives of working people. Look at this. This seems like a threat. Bring change to Britain. And what is it they intend to change? Our green and pleasant land. What is there? Not enough tenement blocks with Somalians in there? Is that the issue, is it? Do we need to concrete over this and import the entire third world so we can house them there at our expense and make sure that the British countryside is gone forever? Is that what we want to do, is it? Like, this is the most sinister thing I've ever seen. How you can be this tone deaf, I don't know. Like, you should have put a picture of Bradford and been like, bring change to Britain, with a bunch of the usual suspects on it. Like, what are you thinking? Absolutely mind-boggling. And it's just being clear as well, right? So, Reform won a lot of seats, but they're also the second place in, well, almost everywhere, frankly. Like, they're in Labour wards, in Conservative wards, in Liberal Democrat wards, in Green wards. They are second everywhere. Because everyone, and again, I really want to stress this, I think this is genuinely just a mass protest vote against the status quo. Whatever direction that Keir Starmer and the Labour Party are changing us into, people have just had enough and they do not want it. And so they're like, right, whatever Nigel Farage, we don't even know what he really wants. We don't know what he's going to do. But whatever it is, we're going to take a risk and a gamble on it because it's better than the status quo. It's better than what you're intending. Anyway, Keir Starmer wrote an article in The Times today, and it's as tone deaf as you might expect. So he says, my response is, I get it. People are angry because he said there would be no magic wand that would fix things overnight, and we'd only get there through hard graft. And it's like, only get where? Only get to the end of the Blairite project. Only get to the constant diversification of Britain through the end of the Blairite project. You exist to fulfill those promises that are the destruction of our country, and everyone can see it, right? And so he's just like, look, I get it. I don't need someone else to tell me that worrying about paying the bill, what paying the bills feels like, because it happened to my family. Uncontrolled immigration, sewage and rivers, failing local services. I feel the same sharp edge of fury the way our country has been let down as the people who voted on Thursday night do. Like, okay, but why aren't you doing anything about it then? Like, use immediate executive actions. Like, the small boats coming across the channel are just not that big of a deal. They're just a kind of abstract injustice to a lot of people. Obviously, there are people who are just like, what are these guys doing at the end of my road? But for a lot of people, it's just it's something that really itches the back of your mind. It's like, I just hate that exists. Like, they're not around my area, but I'm furious about it. I'm absolutely furious. But the issue is the legal immigration. And Keir mentions it, but he doesn't say what he's going to do about it. He doesn't say anything, right? And so he's like, look, nearly a year into government, there's real tangible proof that things are finally beginning to go in the right direction. No, they're not. No, they're not. We need to go completely in the opposite direction. And so it's just insufferable. Absolutely insufferable. He's like, I'm not going to navel gaze or turn inwards. I'm going to deliver for you and your family. More money in your pocket. You're not the one responsible. Lower my goddamn taxes. Lower my goddamn taxes. You came in and Rachel Reeves was like, right, we've got a £22 billion black hole in the budget. So instead of cutting the welfare payments to foreigners or something like that, I'm raising taxes to cover $44 billion so I can give $20 billion away to Ukraine, or however much it was, $20 billion on carbon capture for Ed Miliband's ridiculous climate nonsense, and then to cover whatever else the Tories had messed up. Like, you are robbing me. I know you are robbing me because I read your budget. It was atrocious, and so I don't have more money in my pocket. Anyway, lower NHS waiting lists. Ban foreigners from using it. Take executive action. Legislate. People born outside of Britain will never get to use the NHS for free. That would really help. That would dramatically lower NHS waiting times, because then you'd be like, right, so they have to pay. And if they had to pay, they'd be like, okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm doing this for the sake of it. And lower immigration numbers. Oh, thank you for something this nebulous. Yeah, well, lower immigration numbers. What are they now? Oh, they're going to be north of 1 million, actually, every year. So what are you going to let them to? 700,000? Did our job. Didn't we do exactly as we promised? We've lowered immigration numbers. Totally non-specific. Totally vague. No, reverse immigration numbers. End mass immigration, and 800,000, 700,000 people a year will just leave, and the country will drain out. The overpopulation, like some sort of clogged lymph node, will drain out, and you'll be like, oh, that just feels so much better. It would feel so much better. Just have fewer foreigners here. But anyway, of course, he doesn't get it. And he's like, well, look, I don't think there's a simple ideological fix. And it's like, listen, man, everything you say is ideological. Everything about you are not bright enough not to be ideological. Anyway, he wants to go further in pursuit of national renewal. And it's like, dude, whatever it is you want to do to the country, I don't want you to do. Whatever it is, I just don't want you to do it. I just want you to leave. Everyone hates you. Everyone can see you have your face set against us. You are more concerned about the international doctrine of human rights, which is why you spent your time getting convicted child murderers off of the death penalty for free than actually helping the people of this country. Get out. Everyone hates you. Get out.